Use a T-Rex as my first boss character. I'm referencing a very simple drawing, a test on adding an outline. This is the part where I'm really curious. As a viewer, which one do you find more interesting? I've chosen to use a T-Rex as my first boss character. The final character you see once you reach the end of the map, and I want this character to be much larger than all of the other characters in my game. One thing you see me do immediately is I like to bring in all of my existing characters so that I can see the colors that I'm using and get a sense of scale. Since this is going to be a boss character, I want it to have a stronger, larger presence, and a great way of doing that and making sure that is true is by bringing in my existing characters into an empty scene so that I can reference those characters while I built out this new character. And for this character, I'm referencing a very simple drawing. Because I have a strong art background, I don't necessarily want or need concept art that is fully fleshed out. I block in the large shapes and then I put in the color, and I try to take it as far as I can with the least amount of detail as possible. There isn't a lot of detail, and a lot of visual interest is carried by the shape of the character and the color of the character. And you'll notice that I have this habit of constantly rotating around the model. This is very crucial to make sure that your model looks good from all angles. You don't want to just model from one angle and making sure like it's perfect, and then you rotate your camera and the whole thing falls apart. So one habit that I have is I'm just going around in 360 in all directions and just looking at the model and seeing if anything breaks, the silhouette breaks, and if it doesn't, it's done. But with this model, since it's very round, I had to do that a lot just to make sure that it holds up from all the different angles. So where I've started here is I started with modeling out the body, and from there, once I got the general shape of the core of the character, then I'll build out the eyes, then I'll build out the arms and legs and refine the shape. Every character is a little bit different. In this case, it felt the most natural for me to start with the core of the body and then work my way out. I'm using a 2D art as a starting point, but I'll concept in 3D as I work. And even right here, where I'm blocking in the side view, I don't really have a good idea of what the side view is going to look like. But the main thing is just reminding myself that looking for strong shapes and very clear silhouettes. These characters are very simple and not very detailed. Because I already know how the characters are going to be animated and nothing is rigged, everything is procedurally animated. It also means that I don't necessarily have to have super clean topology for it to look good when it's in motion. Here, I'm adding in the eyes. And this is a very key feature of this character. One thing that's nice about not relying on concept art heavily is while I was building out this character, and I'll show you later on in the video, I experiment with this angry eye and then a neutral eye, and then realize, oh, wait a minute, I can use both of them. The angry eye is going to be for the enemy, and the neutral eye is going to be for my friendly characters that are in your party that you get to control. Here, I'm building out the leg. It's very interesting. It's a very simple shape, but it's very difficult for me to get it nicely planted in there. Yeah, so it took me a few tries, but the main idea is if you're 3D modeling any of these things, and this is what I tell myself, it's very important to keep the model as low resolution as you can while you're building it out. Because it's a lot easier to move 20 verts versus 1,000 verts. So as I'm working here, it's snapping in the points to make sure that the mesh, the leg that I'm adding is flush with the body. And once I like the overall shape, I'll merge them together. And for my characters, I'm keeping it very simple. No toes, no fingers. At least I try to avoid it. My artistic approach here is keeping the characters simple enough where I don't spend a significant amount of time creating 3D art. In games that I've worked on in the past that are team-based, I can spend years creating art for a game. But in this case, because I am doing everything else as a solo developer, I had to find an art style that I felt like it looks visually interesting, but I don't get caught up in creating models for years. Because I do want The timeline for this is ideally, I want the game that I work on to take roughly about a year. No rigging, no super highly detailed modeling, like fingers and toes and all that stuff. Those are the first things I throw out. It takes a while, and you know what? So much motion goes in the hand that those things alone could, well, the hand and the face, right? Those alone could take significantly more time to set up properly than everything else combined. By throwing all that out, probably saves 50% of my modeling time. These little early design choices can have a very significant positive impact for the amount of time it takes. I am working on the arm. Again, it's just a nub. It's just a very simple appendage. And this is by design. I think in some ways it does look cute too. So I want the game to not be overly aggressive looking. Mostly, I'm still trying to kind of decide on what kind of vibe I want my game to have. And so far, I keep thinking being chill and relaxing is I want to make sure it's something that you can do and just relax and it's not too intense. And that's in part why I chose this art style as well. And here I'm adding the teeth in. No one's going to see this, but one benefit of having it in is when I'm taking a screenshot of the character to put it into a UI frame of like a portrait of the character, then you'll see the teeth. But when you're playing the game, currently it's really hard to spot. I might add some camera zoom in and out so that players can actually zoom in and you'll see more detail. But that's something that I'll decide on further down the line. So one idea that I brought up in the past videos, this idea that going forward, I'm only using gradients. And you'll see here how I take that to good use. A gradient allows me to have a very easy way to stay within an existing color. I put a big block of a color. In this case, let's just say the character is red. So imagine I put red in the block of color. And on one end, I do a gradient in Photoshop of black. And then the other end, I do white. And so now I have the main color. And if I want to go darker, I just grab the UVs of the model and slide it across to the darker end. But if I want it to be lighter, I grab the core color UVs in the center and I take it to the right. And this is a great way for me to very easily art direct and add shading into my character. And that way I don't have to keep going back into Photoshop and trying to pick and choose colors. And obviously this only works for this kind of style. If you're using the simplified stylized style, then gradients are the way to go. And one of the challenges with working with a character like this where there's just so much color, you notice that I added this brown strip on the back. And that was just to kind of break some of the, monotony of the color? If the color just looks red all over the place, the moment you look at one corner, you've seen the whole thing. So sometimes it's nice to break the uniformity a little bit by introducing a splash of a different contrasting color. And that's why I added that spine thing in the back. I don't know what it is, but for me is visually, it works for me. Yeah, and then here I am adjusting the colors, turning it into super bright red. Originally, I was designing this character to be like, this is a boss character. And it has these angry eyes. And once I just duplicated one of my existing dinosaur's eyes on top of it, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, now it looks super friendly. So that's how I decided that I'm going to, the way I decide on whether or not something is an enemy versus a friendly character in which you control in your party is going to be their eyes. The enemies are going to be always angry, and the friendly characters in your group are going to have an open eye where you can see the pupil and overall just look more friendly only on the eye area. Here, I am doing a test on adding an outline. Now this is a test. I am doing some experiments to see which one I like more. I'm leaning into not having the outline, but for now I have it in my game, just so I have the option to turn it on and off and see if I like it more. So far, when I add the outline, it starts losing some of the art direction charm that I'm hoping to maintain. The outline is a lot more common in a lot of other games, so it becomes less unique when I add it in. but it does improve the clarity in some ways. And you'll see I have an image or a video here where I am viewing both of them in game with and without outline. Now in Unity, you'll notice that this is why I really like the procedural setup. All I'm doing is I'm just dropping the T-Rex model into an existing Triceratops prefab, and they use all the same scripts, and I don't have to manually hook up anything. So it all just works, and it saves me so much time. If you had to create a traditional character where you rig every joint and everything has very custom setup, its own material, its own textures and everything, it takes a while. Sometimes it takes days. For very sophisticated characters, it could take months to really implement. This character, the simplicity is I just drop it in 30 seconds and it's implemented, and I can press play and it's in my game. I really like working this way, in part because I had to do the soul-crushing other stuff in the past. This is only stuff that I get to do in my own personal project. Most studios, their way of all the different departments coming together and trying to make it work, I'm usually the tech artist that has to go in there and make it all work, and it could be very stressful. And here is an example of with outline and without outline. And I don't know, this is the part where I'm really curious. As a viewer, which one do you find more interesting? I find they each have their strengths,